Right now at 4, sentenced. An Uber driver admits to killing an Indianapolis mother. We'll tell you how long he'll spend behind bars.
And could there be changes to Indiana's newly proposed congressional maps? The latest on the heated debate at the State House this afternoon.
Frigid start to Friday. I'll cover the cold and another snow chance in your forecast.
Plus, what happens when a package delivery driver gets arrested? Fishers police decided they would jump in and help instead. I'm Samantha Johnson. That story is still ahead.
All these stories and more live from Indy.
And we start with breaking news at 4 o'clock. A crash involving 2 semis on the west side. It ended in a fire, causing serious traffic issues. This is on 465 northbound near Washington Street. That crash happened around 2:30 this afternoon. But this live camera view shows the smoke, as you can see right there, still billowing from the crash scene, and all northbound lanes remain closed.
But we told you we've been monitoring it. If you compare it to the scene that we saw about an hour and a half ago, this was definitely more dramatic. Right now, we know the northbound lanes of 465 are closed, along with both I-70 exit ramps to 465 northbound. We want to get straight to Rob. He's looking at the traffic impact here.
Yeah, if you're a kind of a map person, I'll show you that first, then we'll get back to those traffic cameras. Here's the area that we're talking about, 465 northbound, but it is also affecting 465 southbound. That's going to have a big impact for those trying to get to the airport later this evening. It is closed. Now, here's what we know. You already mentioned 2 semis involved. This is from southbound looking northbound. Potentially some pallets involved that were on 2 of these tractor trailers. However, they have called in this vehicle, and this is the airport crash vehicle. That's what it's called. They've asked for assistance from the airport to help douse that fire. Again, it is going to be shut down for a while, and keep in mind, temperatures are below freezing, so any water they put on this potentially could have an impact on the interstate. That's going to need to get cleared up before they can get traffic moving through.
All right, we'll check back in just a few. Rob, thank you. Thank you for joining us at 4 o'clock on this frigid Thursday afternoon. These temperatures, they're also about to get even colder.
Yes, they are. Angela has been tracking it. She's saying what we see over the next several hours could lead to some school delays.
Yes, we warned you earlier in the week we could have several mornings in a row with school delays. We had some this morning. Tomorrow, I do think it'll be cold enough for some additional school delays. We're talking single digits for some, and wind chills, if we get enough of a breeze, that may go sub-zero briefly. Rob pointed out the fact that, yes, as they do that cleanup on 465 northbound, they're going to have to do something with the water they've used because temperatures are below freezing. We're in the mid-20s for most of us. Carmel 25, Noblesville 27, Bainbridge 25, and we're at 23 in Connorsville. Temperatures will continue to drop. Wind chills right now are in the teens and low 20s, as low as feeling like 12 in Richmond. Sunset for us this evening, 521. We're going to drop quickly into the teens. Actual low temperatures in some locations in the single digits, mainly across the northern half of the state. It is going to be cold. Can't rule out some patchy freezing fog. We don't anticipate that to be widespread. At least we end tomorrow with some sunshine. We're forecasting after that frigid start, high temperatures tomorrow in the low 30s. A weekend snow chance. I'll have that look ahead in a few minutes.
In the courtroom, an Uber driver convicted of killing an Indianapolis mother will spend the next 4 decades in prison.
Our Marina Silva was in the courtroom today as Francisco Valadez admitted to the crime.
She was a mother, a niece, and a daughter taking an Uber home from work when she was tragically killed. Now, her killer will spend the next 45 years in prison.
Then how do you plead to murder, a felony, count 1, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Dressed and shackled in his red jail uniform, Francisco Valadez admitted to a judge that he killed Shanti Dixon. Court documents say Dixon ordered an Uber at 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday in September 2024. Valadez shot and killed her and left her body in a wooded area. Her family reported her missing. She was found the next day.
Today I'm here because of your choices, of what you chose to do. You chose to take the life of my daughter. And now I have to deal with that.
Dixon's mom, Rise, spoke to Valadez in open court on Thursday.
As far as I'm concerned, you died the same day my daughter died.
Her teenage son also spoke during the hearing, saying his family is torn apart. Under the plea agreement, Valadez pled guilty to murder. He's sentenced to 45 years in the Department of Corrections with some time served. The prosecution dropped the other rape, murder, and abandonment of a corpse charges.
I just wanted him to understand that I meant my words, that after this day, there's nothing else for us to communicate about. He needs to go do his time, and I need to move forward.
Moving forward by making sure her grandkids grow up in a loving environment. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
And under the agreement, Valadez will also have to register as a sexual violent offender for the rest of his life. His attorney did not have a comment after court today.
Metro Police are investigating on the Southside right now after an early morning shooting.
So this happened on Burkhart Drive near South Meridian Street and East Banta Avenue around 1 a.m. IMPD says they found 23-year-old Bradley Torres in the road. He was pronounced dead at the scene. So far, there's no word on what might have led to that shooting or any suspect information. Of course, we'll update you as we learn more here on 13 and online at WTHR.com. Happening right now as we speak, Indiana lawmakers are getting a swing at offering changes to the controversial redistricting bill unveiled this week. Here's what we've learned. Democrats have introduced 21 amendments. Only 15 of those were actually considered, and all were defeated. Now, some of the things proposed by Democrats included suggesting a referendum on redistricting, putting it to the public to decide, or nonpartisan redistricting. Some of the amendments also propose studies, including the cost of redistricting and the potential impact on so-called communities of interest. Now, this redistricting push is all an effort to give Republicans a larger majority in Congress during next year's midterm elections. President Trump and other GOP leaders have been leaning on Republican states like Indiana to redraw their House district maps to make them more favorable to Republican candidates. I want to show you the proposed map here. This is what they are debating right now in the State House. This proposed map would divide the Democratic stronghold of Marion County, for example, into 4 different districts, and each district pretty much stretches to the edge of the state. Our Emily Longnecker is at the State House right now. She'll join us live coming up in our 5 o'clock hour. Now to Fishers, where police are going above the call of duty to make spirits bright. Especially after the arrest of a delivery driver. This takes protecting and serving to a whole new level. Our Samantha Johnson is there.
Every day, Fishers police are called to serve and protect, and on this day, to also deliver packages.
These officers are not only just police officers in the community, but they're part of the community.
Major Ryan Jones tells me on Wednesday, police tried to stop a guy for speeding. He drove off and then ran away. And when they finally tracked him down, they found more than they bargained for.
Throughout the investigation, it was determined that he is a package delivery driver. There's 40 to 50 packages in the vehicle.
The officers didn't miss a beat, divvying up dozens of bags and boxes and loading them up themselves.
And they took it upon themselves to make the deliveries so the citizens of Fishers would have their packages.
It took about 20 officers to get it done, but one by one, those packages were delivered. Not by the mailman or by Santa, but by a smile just as warm.
They go above and beyond all the time, whether it's helping people that are stranded on the side of the road, changing tires, a food delivery driver that gets in an accident, they make the delivery.
Fishers police reminding us they are here to both protect and serve, delivering a little holiday joy this time of year. As for the man arrested, he is now facing 4 charges, including resisting law enforcement. In Fishers, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Wow.
Talk about a special delivery, huh?
I know. I mean, this is just such an Indiana story.
I loved watching the social media comments online.
What did they say?
One of my favorites was, imagine seeing this happening and thinking your neighbors, all of them, are being served warrants. That right there is above and beyond service.
I was going to say, it could be disconcerting. You see an officer at your door. You're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But
great.
if they come bearing gifts, well, come on then.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
All right. So... Students at James Lowell School 51 got a big surprise today, and it's all thanks to the Big Ten. The Big Ten Indiana Sports Corp and other partners renovated an old faculty space in this new library, and they put it into the new library, I should say, so kids will be able to find new books, literacy kits, and Big Ten decorated items. School staff say the library will not just give students a new place to read, but an area where students can dream about their futures.
Sometimes we don't feel seen, and so for the Big Ten to see us, to shine a light on us, to ask how can we come alongside you, how can we support, is incredible.
Incredible. The Big Ten says this partnership will expand to other parts of the school as the year goes on. And we're taking a look at policy changes surrounding immigration, how organizations are now working to prepare their clients for the unexpected.
Definitely cold tonight, some single digits, and looking ahead to a weekend snow chance. I'll have the local timeline.
All right, Angela, and a man has been charged in an FBI investigation after nearly 5 years. What we're now learning about the D.C. pipe bomb suspect. Next, here on 13 News at 4.